So you're wondering what kind of accessories do you need when you take your Insta360 X5 or X4 for that matter and go diving with it. In this video, I'll go through the necessities, the important accessories, and I'll go through some of the extra things that will add a bit of fun to your underwater explorations of an Insta360 camera. Let's dive in. So you have been looking at the X5s and I don't want to go through those right now. I have a full review of how it performs as well and also how it performs in the housing. So check that one out. Now in terms of accessories, the must-haves is of course the housings. And Insta360's created two types of housings. There's the standard, is this one. This is an extra accessory, I'll come into that. And then there's the pro housing, that's this one over here. So this standard housing has been around for quite some time. They've had it for at least since the X3. Standard acrylic housing that gives you a really nice underwater video when you put it in the housing. So the Insta360 is waterproof on its own, but does not work underwater. So you cannot take it diving actually because the stitching doesn't work. So even though it's waterproof, you can't use it for diving. So when you're diving, you need one of these housings. This one is waterproof down to 60 meters. That's plenty of depth for most recreational divers. When you put it in, it's quite easy. You open up the hatches, you put the camera in, put in defog strips that will suck up some of the moist if there's really moist air when you put it in. Turn it on and put it into underwater casing modes. Close the hatch, then you're good to go. You could turn it off, and when you turn it on again, it's in underwater mode. If you put it in without adding this underwater casing mode, you don't have to open it up. You can just turn it on, hold the button here, and it will turn automatically into underwater casing mode, which is really good. It provides really good underwater footage. You can see it here on the screen. Works nice, looks crystal clear. But if you want a bit extra output for your underwater camera, your X5 camera, you can upgrade to the Pro housing as well. It gives a bit extra clarity. It has a larger dome, so it also removes a bit more of that stitching. The stitching is notable sometimes when you're diving, but to be honest, with the X5 and the new housings, I don't see it anymore. So you can see here on the footage if you see it, but it doesn't bother me. What is changing a bit for the Pro housing is that it's a bit larger, meaning it's more buoyant. So you need to add an extra weight below the housing. You put that on the selfie stick. The weight itself is not an issue when you're in the water, but it does add a bit extra bulk to your travel setup. And because it's larger, it does add a bit of extra bulk to you when you're diving. So that's the only con of the Pro housing. Other than that, it costs almost the same. If you want a light, easy use, go for the standard. If you're really looking for quality image, go for the Pro housing. That's the essentials that you should always bring as well as the selfie stick. So the selfie stick, Insta360 selfie sticks are invisible, which means as soon as you put it on the housing, extract it all the way, you cannot see them anymore. The camera will simply remove this selfie stick for you, so it's not showing. And that's also why you see some of these clips where you can actually see this is me diving, filming myself with the Insta360. You cannot see the selfie stick. The only thing you can see is that hand where I'm holding the selfie stick. It looks a bit odd that I'm just holding a hand out in the middle of nowhere. It just looks like something out of a drone footage or someone else filming. And that's really the big pro of the Insta360, this invisible selfie stick. The selfie stick comes in a few different sizes. So this is the standard. I think it's 114 centimeters. Retracted, it looks like this. Then they have an action camera version as well. It's a bit more durable. You don't need that for diving. They also have the really large extended selfie stick here. This one is 3 meters. You can use it for diving, but it's quite buoyant, so it's not recommended for diving, but you can use it, or you can, if you're doing something above land, you can actually dip this one into water and get quite far down in the water with that one. It's also really good for like these drone shots. We used it plenty of like a dive boat because it looks so good. This one is the one I would recommend for diving. And then a big extra tip, they have these small strips, lanyards that you can buy as well. You screw that one to the bottom here and now you can attach it to your wrist when you're using it. You can also attach a small carabiner and then you hang it on to your BCD. I have other accessories for attaching to the BCD, but I'll come more into that later. This one costs like a few dollars. Get that one for your setup. You don't want to lose the camera. The housing comes with weights as well, so that's part of the accessories. This one is for the Pro housing, quite heavy one, and then for the standard housing, there's a smaller weight. That's all you need to take this one diving, but there's of course other fun things. So one of the smaller ones, that's part of the dive bundle as well. This is a floating grip, which means if someone drops it, it's gonna float. This one is not so important when you're diving, but if you're doing anything at the surface or if your kids are using this one, that's a really nice thing. It's an expensive camera, you don't want to lose it while you're diving. Another fun, really cool dive gadget is this Dive Buddy, yes, that's right. This one will carry your camera for you and float mid-water for a really fun experience filming. So you can basically put your Insta360 in the water like this, and then it will stay floating, or it will stay sinking slowly or floating slowly. A lot of fun things to play around with this. This one is neutrally buoyant, but with settings. So you can screw in here, make it smaller, thereby less buoyant, or screw the other way and then making it more buoyant. So basically you can fine tune it to find that perfect balance, or you can, play around with it, making it slowly go up or slowly dive down. Inside of this, there's some extra weights as well, so you can really fine tune it depending on the camera, of course, and the housing, and put it perfectly stable in the water. It's really fun to have this one guiding around. I played around with the kids in the pool as well, where you can put this one in the water, and then when they're diving down, there's a camera filming them in mid-water. I love that. The Dive Buddy also comes with a tripod like this, so you can place it on the bottom and enjoy diving, or you can dive around with it, we're just leaving it there. That's a really cool feature as well. Dive Buddy is a great add-on. Of course, not something you need, but it's a cool feature to have in, and you can use it for a handle as well. The housings, they come with these small pouches, so they are included when you buy the housing. Really good to use them, because as soon as you start scratching these, the photo quality of course can go down, and they do scratch, especially rubbing against dive gear on a dive boat. So put them in as soon as you have them out. But one of the things is, where do you place one of these big housings when you're diving around if you're not filming all the time? Insta360 came up with this one for backpacks actually, but it works really well for dive kits. So you attach this one to the BCD, to your backplane wing, right like this, and twist, pull it out, and now you have your camera at hand. And as soon as you put it in, it's stuck, it stays where it should be. Now, let's come into some of the other fun gadgets. So a small thing, but will make a huge difference, is the extra large battery. So the Insta360 X5 camera holds up quite well battery, and it will do well, but if you are diving for a long time or extended periods, or snorkeling at the surface for extended periods, or on a dive boat where you want to do continuous diving without opening it up, I would recommend get the extra large battery. Cover as well for these lenses do scratch. So cover them up as soon as you have this out the boat. Put this cover on, because they do also fall over sometimes, and then you break them. That said, if you do break them, one of the coolest accessories that we've gotten so far is the change your lens kit. So backstory to our first real cool experience with the Insta360 was using the X3. The X3 was a fantastic good camera, not as good as the X5, but still we used it for a bunch of things, because it had all the features, less video quality, but still good enough for us, to be honest. At some point we did scratch the X3 lens just a teeny tiny bit, and at sometimes when you were diving you could see that small scratch. We never changed it because that wasn't an option with the X3. Now with the X5 we've done it again. We actually broke the lens, as you can see here. With this kit we can change the lens. Quite simple, quite easy, on our own, without having to send it into a repair. I think that's a really cool thing for an action camera where things happen, and we do sometimes treat it a bit roughly, playing around with selfie sticks and so on. You do scratch these lenses because they do stick out quite a lot. It's not the same as the other action cameras where the lenses are a bit further in. Now that was the whole dive essentials that we went through. The housings, of course, the selfie sticks is what you need, and the other things are nice to have. The housing and selfie sticks comes in the dive bundle, around $700 for the standard, $720 for the pro housing. The difference in price is not really that extensive. So what you want to decide is, do you want the extra image quality, or do you want the ease of travel? That's what you want to decide between the housings. Either of will produce nice video quality, but there is a bit finer on that one, but less bulk on this one. They're all available in this dive bundle you can buy on the Insta360 website. I'll link that one in the description. That's all I have for this essentials of dive accessories. We have a full video review of the X5. If you want to see the quality of the video, you've seen some in this video, but we have more in that video of that one. So check that one out if you haven't seen it. And thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed this walkthrough of accessories.